a classic Christmas record.
Baby, if you got to go away,
Well, the man behind that
think I could take.
is our good friend Phil Harding, who's back on the show. Morning, Phil.
Morning, James. How are you?
Very well, my friend. Welcome to the programme. The big Christmas button has been pressed, and those Christmas tunes once again will be on the radio. And you, of course, behind that, one of the biggest, E17, Stay Another Day. The question is then, Phil, what's the process behind a Christmas classic, as far as you are aware?
I mean, obviously times have changed. You know, that was 94, and I would say through the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
Professionally, you really had to start thinking about it way before Christmas. I mean, Stay Another Day, for instance, was made in August 94.
Right, in the midst of summer.
Yeah, very strange when it's summer outside and people are encouraging you to think about Christmas. So, you really had to sort of plan it well up front, which is not quite so necessary now with social media, you know. So that was the first thing. And then sometimes you can just stumble upon something that fits into Christmas. And the only thing that really makes Stay Another Day any kind of Christmas record is the bells, the tubular bells at the end.
And you put those in, Phil, did you?
Well, that was a kind of a last-minute thing. The songwriter in the band, Tony Mortimer, said to myself and my partner Ian Curnow, I want to go really over the top at the end, guys. You know, orchestra, kitchen sink, whistles, tubular bells.
Yeah.
So, and you say something like that to a high-level musician like Ian Curnow, and just, as you can hear on the end of the record, it's just, it's almost like the 1812 Overture.
Yeah.
And once the record company heard those bells at the end, that's when they said, this could be great to market at Christmas, leading up to their next album. And I was mixing that record the day before I went on holiday in August in the Strongroom studio complex. And sometimes you've got a number of studios in the same place. And I remember walking out of the studio for a break and bumping into some of the people from M People who were in the next studio.
Yeah.
And they said, what are you up to in there, Phil? I said, I'm mixing a Christmas record. In August.
Yeah. Well, M People never made one, did they? So, they lost out there, really. What are the bands like, though, about Christmas records? Because often it is viewed as a sellout, isn't it? It's viewed as the beginnings of the end of a band.
Not necessarily quite as bad as Eurovision, but on a par. I think it depends in what spirit you take it. I also worked on remix of Always on My Mind, the Pet Shop Boys, and I think it's all about timing, James. If a band is on the crest of a wave and the timing is that they have a record that just happens to be massive around Christmas time, it could be nothing to do with Christmas, as we know.
Well, Power of Love, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, famously, huge Christmas song, but it was never anything to do with Christmas, just happened to be the next one they released.
Yeah, exactly. So quite what's behind, let's say, a band like Wham specifically making a Christmas record, and they were considered a cool band, or they considered themselves cool. Definitely it's something to do with timing.
Yeah.
And how far you go with putting that Christmas message in. I mean, I also worked on Band Aid too. Okay, Christmas is mentioned, and it's a charity record, but it hasn't got the sleigh bells and all the other typical things of Christmas. But I do think it's a wonderful time of year, and when you start playing Jonah Louie, who's an old friend of mine, and stuff like that, it's fantastic. I think it's what we need.
We are talking about some of the sounds that remind you of Christmas. Nothing says Christmas more than... I mean, to me, that's when you know Christmas is here, right?
Yeah, bring on the cavalry.
That's right.
Yeah.
Obviously, people say, you make a successful Christmas tune, that's it, you're done, that's your pension. Is that really the case, Phil?
Well, it is if you're the songwriter, definitely. Yeah. If you're the songwriter, and unfortunately we didn't write that song. But having said that, as producers, the musicians and the artists, you do get paid for airplay. So every time Christmas comes around, 6 months later, there's a little
bit of divvy.
A little bit of divvy in the
little bit of divvy on the way, yeah. Absolutely,
But if you're a songwriter writing a Christmas #1, yes, you are set for life. And that was featured in a film, wasn't it? Or some time back. Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant, yeah, he was in it, yeah, exactly.
And he written the Christmas song and never had to work again in his life.
Exactly.
You know?
See, now with that in mind, I'm surprised that Pete Waterman never really, did a massive Christmas song.
No, I mean we tried with Rick Astley.
Right.
Did a cover of When I Fall in Love. It's not really a Christmas record, but something a bit schmarmy like that.
Yeah.
Certainly not like Rick's earlier records, but we were pipped to the post by the Jive Bunny. So
that's right. Yeah, remember it. Yeah, they were the days, eh? It's always a pleasure to catch up with Phil Harding, and I'll tell you something. If you want something great in your stocking, Phil's got a couple of books out, and they are a fascinating insight into the world of music production back then and also right now. Phil, you bring us right up to date.
Yes, I do. I bring my legacy and practices into the modern world of technology and music production, and I still work closely with a lot of students, universities, and encourage them to at least consider some of the ways that a lot of pop people like myself have worked in the past to give them a career in the future. And yeah, I enjoy it very much.
PhilHardingMusic.com. There you go. That's the place to go. Obviously, you were behind, Andy, 17 of yours, were behind Stay Another Day. But for you personally, Phil, what is the all-time great Christmas record?
Oh, it's got to be Slade, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here it comes.
Going to go with Slade?
Yeah, going to go with Slade. I was going to say to you, there's another one that's nothing to do with Christmas, but for some reason everyone plays it at Christmas. Is it Fahrenheit?
Fahrenheit. Keeping the Dream Alive. Yeah. And I remember when it came out, and it literally is only because it came out early December. There's no other reference to Christmas in it. I don't know why. Yeah. It's a Christmas song, you're right. Yeah.
But, when it's been big at Christmas, it just reminds you of Christmas. It's got nothing to do with it.
Exactly.
So I guess Stay Another Day was another one of those, really. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll remind you of the work you did on that, Phil Harding, and find out more at philhardingmusic.com. Always a pleasure. Keep safe, Phil.
Thanks. Cheers, James.
To go away, don't think I could take the pain. Won't you stay another day? Oh, don't leave me alone like this. Don't you say it's the final kiss. Won't you stay another day? Don't you know we've come too far now just to go and try to throw it all away? Thought I heard you say you love me, that your love was gonna be here to stay. I've only just begun to know you. All I can say is won't you stay just one more day? Baby, if you got to go away, don't think I could take the pain. Won't you stay another day? Don't leave me alone like this. Don't you say it's the final kiss. Won't you stay another day? I touch your face while you are sleeping and hold your hand. Don't understand what's going on. Good times we had return to haunt me. Though it's for you, all that I do seems to be wrong. Baby, if you got to go away, don't think I could take the pain. Won't you stay another day?
2017, Stay Another Day. Phil Harding, engineer, producer, most prolific one, I suspect, would say, during the Stock Aitken and Waterman years of the late 80s. Now very much a local musical entrepreneur, I think would be the phrase. He's an all-round great guy. Does a lot of teaching as well and got a couple of books out well worth investigating.